Hi friends, I'm always looking for new ideas and new ways to use my rice papers. So at H&H last week, I was in the Jesmonite booth and I created this little, I'm calling it a tray, a pink tray, and this is a two-part. You mix it together, and you can find out more on Jesmonite's website. So I created this tray, but I wanted to put something in the middle. So I've decided to use sepia mixed. First though, I'm going to, because I want the papers to pop, so I'm just going to put a little gesso painted on the inside to make it look the paper's true color. So I've painted in the center of my tray and let it dry. I let it dry overnight just to make sure it's set. And now is the time to decide what I want for my focal image on the tray. So I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. And I've decided I want this dragonfly here to be that. So I'm going to wet my brush. One of the easiest ways to tear these rice papers is by using a brush and wetting it, and then it'll tear super easy. And if you want a more straight edge, you can always fussy cut it with scissors. So let's see. Yep, see how easily that tears. I might need to add a little bit more water if necessary. I want a collage style, so that's why I'm tearing it. Okay, so that is the center, but I can see that I'm going to need to, well, maybe not. These edges are bothering me, so I'm just going to trim that up a little bit. Okay, so I basically have got this where I want it. I do have some open places, and I haven't exactly decided what I'm going to do with that. I'm using some matte medium to put it all down. I should just be able to, the matte medium will absorb into the paper and just hopefully glue it down, because I don't want to keep finessing it. I'm afraid I might, tear something I didn't want to tear. You could also use like Mod Podge or whatever, you use usually to decoupage or glue things down. There's a lot of different products. I just happen to always have matte medium. And I'm so happy that I did painted the background, because otherwise this would have been really dull. I've had that happen before, and I just was not happy with it, so this time I am. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this all down, and then we'll go from there. So the other parts, I've decided to use my brass colored Lumiere, and this is by far my favorite gold metallic paint. I have used it for more years than I want to admit. So for some of these spots, again, I'm just going to kind of put it on. Clean my brush. And just fill in where I want a little bit of gold. So it's kind of hiding the white spots, but it's also giving it a little sparkle. And then in some of the other spots where I'm not covering, I'll just rub on some gold. Highlight it a little bit. To finish up, I'm going to apply a triple thick glaze. And what this is, it's like a varnish. It's a gloss glaze because I want it to be shiny, bring out the gold a little bit. But it's by Deco Art, and it's non-yellowing and a clear finish. Again, I've used this for a very long time, so I'm just going to, and I'm going to apply this in coats. So I'm just going to put it on, and I think I'm even going to paint it onto the tray. It's the pink tray here. So the last thing I'm going to do with this is dried. I applied the triple thick and let it dry overnight. I decided to do the outside as well, and an interesting thing happened. I don't know if you can tell, but it did a little crazing on the Jesmonite. So I don't know what happened, but I really like it. So the last thing I'm going to do is use some Pearl-Ex on it and just kind of, it just adds this really pretty finish. I don't know how to describe it other than it just really looks nice. So I just rub that in. You could use any color, and you don't have to do this, but you can see it's adding this really pretty sparkle. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I'm going to use it for my jewelry beside my bed. So there you have it.